I was out there literally on the intersection of University and Snelling right before people were arriving. I mean, I was there with my bullhorn and I had my sign out there. I had my boy Cherokee with me. Shout out my boy Cherokee, Christopher, and Hands from Heaven. So I had my boy Cherokee out there with me, man, and my boy Umpa. So I was just trying to talk with people, trying to get them to not come. First off, not to come there, because once you get them there, you already know what it's going to be.
Yeah,
right. So my hope is if I can get people to at least turn away, that's at least 1 or 2 people that ain't going to be involved in what's about to happen. I knew it was going to go up, man.
Yeah.
And literally, sure enough, I was probably out there for about 45 minutes to an hour right before things got chaotic. And people were literally pulling up in like 4 or 5 cars deep.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
4 or 5 trucks, SUVs with like 6 people in it hanging out the window.
Yeah.
Throwing up gang signs. It was crazy, man.
Yeah.
It was.
I think the toughest was the tanks.
Yeah, the tanks.
Seeing the tanks.
The
Also
tanks.
seeing the Foot Locker go up in flames.
The tear gas, the smell of the tear gas. We was actually filming live, like acts. We didn't.
Y'all was in St. Paul or y'all was in Minneapolis?
Minneapolis.
We was on Lake Street, like at the police department, like
in front of Target too.
in front of Target.
Yep, I was out there for a little bit. Yeah.
We stayed out there for about 5 hours. See, I'm the guru. I'm smart. I said, if we're gonna go, we gotta dress correct.
Mm-hmm.
I grabbed my J's, I grabbed my hoodie, I grabbed some sweats and a t-shirt under the hoodie just in case I got to cover my mouth for the tear gas.
Yep.
My co-host,
Prince Kumi was out there with the tie
he
on.
came
the
out
long
there
sleeve.
with some Stacey Adams, the gold rolly. I said, "We not going to church, brother. We not going to church. You got to put that away right now."
I
you
love
know,
it.
but you know, so we was out there for literally 5 hours. We seen people just running in and out of Target with, I mean, 2 shopping carts. The baby in the middle of the shopping cart. You can't even see the baby. The baby just drowned in just all the stuff that mom got. I mean, just carts. And we went viral. One lady, Jennifer.
Yeah.
I'll let you feed off of Jennifer.
Jennifer, she was trying to impede the path of people that was coming into the Target, and she paid the price for that. You know, like
Don't tell me they ran her over.
I
She
mean,
got trampled?
listen.
She stabbed a couple people.
she stabbed a couple people.
Oh, y'all was right there when that happened.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
we was in the
We was
midst.
the video that went viral.
That was our video.
Wow.
Right.
I didn't even see the video. I heard about it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
man, listen, he was right, man. He was like, man, we should cover this. I was like, you sure? He was like, man, listen, I'm going. I was right after him. A lot of stuff that we do, I mean, he really got he's the brains behind, like, okay, what do he think is gonna? He'd be like, okay, this is what we should be at, and I'd be like, okay, and then we go there, and it does.
You got that
Yeah,
intuition.
he got the
Like, I know
intuition.
something about to happen.
Yeah. I'm telling you,
It take
it's
him too long to get dressed. He ironing and stuff. I'm in the car like, man, if you don't come on.
hey, that's the truth. He's like, man, hey, I come outside, he be like, dude, what do you got on? I'm like, man, I gotta. So I love it, man. But I mean, just all in all, you know, like I think that like the George Floyd situation, like just like on our show, we always ask the guests, like, what do we think is going to happen if they don't find adequate charges for the officers in the situation? And I haven't met anyone who hasn't promised all hell would break loose if that happens. Because I mean, this is one of those George Floyd. All the other situations like Mike Brown and all these other ones, those can be debated. But when you look at George Floyd, I haven't met anyone, not even on no side of the spectrum, who said that George Floyd was in the wrong.
I mean, when you use the word debated, though, I mean, I think a lot of people have even been debating how George Floyd died. You know, they trying to throw out that he was on drugs and that he had an anxiety attack and, you know, he didn't eat in the morning, so that's why he died.
Fixation. If you don't know what that word means, you was choked.
Man.
Yeah. But it's like, how can I say this? I'm just going to say it like this. When a man at 40-something years old is hollering for his mother.
Yeah, that's what did it for me, man.
That did it for me. I think I couldn't have stood. I probably got shot in the process. I couldn't have. It was only a young girl there, which is cool. That's just understandable. But if there was some grown men there and you just sat there with your phone, me and them grown men would have had a problem because you just don't sit there and watch that go on. Your human instinct should be able to kick in. And I also think the sheriffs, you know, because I used to work in Minneapolis, when the paramedics called, the sheriffs are called too. And the sheriffs was present too. It wasn't just Minneapolis police. There was some sheriffs, some brown suits there too, you know, and they didn't do their job due diligence neither. And at the end of the day, it was wrong. At the end of the day, it was just totally wrong. I don't care what the man did, and he should have got premeditated murder because he worked with him at the nightclub. If you cross my path and you kill me on you, that's premeditated.
And I heard that they had issues in the past as well, and I hope that that's being brought up in the case.
Yes, he got pictures with his daughter, so he probably didn't like that. It's a lot of they pass cross too many times for you
to be a random, incident.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that's the point where I watched this video. It was like 6:00 in the morning, like the next day or whatever, right?
Right.
And the part that hit me was when he called out for his mom. And I didn't know this. He ended up losing his mother the same year I lost my mom. So I lost my mother almost 2 years ago.
Sorry to
in
hear
2018. She's in a better place with God. She's been in pain her whole life. But I didn't know that. Someone brought that up to my attention. They're like, well, did you know that Mr. Floyd lost his mother 2 years ago?
Wow.
When he cried out for his mom, I'm thinking she around the block or something. Right? Or, she in his phone. He could just call and be like, Mama, they just did me bogus. What can I do? I didn't even know that his mom was dead and she passed away 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, so for a person to cry out to their mother, knowing that their mother is not going to be able to even come there to save them, he
That's
knew he
tough.
was going to die.
Yeah, that's tough.
At that point, he knew he was going to die.
Someone said that that's his mom welcoming him into heaven. And like he at that moment,
He was crossing over.
And I think, man, like that was tough. I just seen the recent footage that had just leaked out, or they just put out
the whole video,
whole video,
start to finish.
Yeah.
Well, they did. Well, in that video, I wonder. Like he's like, man, I really don't want to go in that car. And I wonder. My question just would be: is there any type of method that can happen if someone does say, hey, listen, I'm not resisting. It's clear I'm not resisting, but I really don't want to go in the back of that squad car. I want to know if there's some policy that can be, moving forward, because at the same time, if I'm not convicted of a crime, if you're not charging me with anything, if I'm not, because I think it seemed like a routine traffic stop, and I think that George Floyd, I heard him say, man, I don't want y'all to win, and I felt that. I don't know if you've seen that video, but he said, I don't want y'all to win, and he was just like, man, I don't want to go into that car. And then he said in the video, he said, I just had COVID, I don't want to go back in there, like in prison. He said, I don't want to go back in there. I just beat COVID, and so it's just like.
And he cited that he had anxiety.
Yeah, so
claustrophobia.
he was saying a lot of different things, and like how I was trying to figure how did they get him on the ground, and he legitimately fell, and man, I just think that there had to have been a way, because when I was looking at the video, I was looking for every opportunity for his life to be spared. I was at every intersection, like, okay, maybe right here they could have did this differently, and there was a lot of opportunities for them to be like, okay, this is a human. He fell down. Okay, because I think they were trying to shackle his feet.
They snatched him out the car.
Yeah,
they snatched him out of the car. And I'm gonna drop a little piece of game on here because this is, I would consider to be a somewhat educational podcast. So we do like to have free flowing conversation, but I love to interject and throw in a piece of knowledge every once in a while for my audience to take away from this.
Okay.
When we talk about procedures and standards, right, and how the police had multiple opportunities to intervene and also to say, well, how can we do this differently? Obviously, this man is having an issue with going in the back of this car. We're not even charging with anything right now to even bring him to the station. What can we do better?
Right.
People go to city council and they complain about that, right? Or they'll go to the county commissioners and they'll complain about that, right? Or they even might send a letter to the governor to complain about that, right?
Right.
None of those entities is the right body that you should go to. I want people to remember this name. Minnesota Post Board. Have you heard that before?
No.
I'm not surprised. Minnesota Post Board. It stands for Peace Officer Standard and Training Board. I'm going to be very direct here. It's a bunch of old white men, retired cops, veterans, retired cops, who sit on this post board and they make all the standards and training procedures for all the police agencies throughout the state of Minnesota. There's something over like 250 police agencies in the state of Minnesota.
And that's who they go to.
That's who you should go to. That's who you need to write your grievance to. The Minnesota Post Board. Look them up.
Minnesota Post Board.
Look them up, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. And they make all the rules and regulations, all the data, all the privacy issues, all the complaints with officers. They have all that information.
I'm definitely Googling them. Definitely. Definitely gonna put them on Google.
Yeah, because
And that's part of the problem, though.
Yeah.
Most people don't know that. So when I talk, and that's political.
Yeah.
So when I get in these conversations with people, like, oh, everything's not about politics. It is.
Right.
And I have this argument with people all the time.
That's what
even
it
some of my
boils down
close
to.
friends. Everything's about politics.